Welcome to Two Sisters Podcast with your hosts, Kristy and Melissa, who are real sisters bringing you real talk about life and faith through humor, insight, and community. Now, let's get into this week's episode.
What's up, guys? It's Melissa
and Kristy,
and welcome to Two Sisters Podcast. So today, we're going to talk about peace.
Yes. Peace. So as you go from day to day in life, right?
Mm-hmm.
You start off by all of these things are important in life. You have your different categories. School, work, job, career,
Family,
marriage, family,
kids,
their schooling,
parents,
their education, parents, health,
wealth.
right?
The world.
Yeah.
I mean,
politics,
homeless, yeah.
Home ownership, car ownership, land ownership, whatever.
Insurance.
And then it just gets to a point where you just want peace.
So what does that look like? What does that feel like? What is that?
What's peace? Well, for me,
peace.
Simplistically, peace is when I am settled and calm and sure about a particular area of life.
Okay.
I'm at peace.
Calm and sure. I like that.
Yes, calm and sure. I have like a security for that particular subject of life.
I get you. So for me, I'm thinking about decisions. It's like, because I feel like we wake up and your whole life is a decision. Mm-hmm. Like what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, why you're going to do it, when you're going to do it. Is this like, you know what I mean? Like, and when you are not just responsible for yourself, so it's like so many decisions. Like, so yeah, I feel the same way about decisions. Like it's like I am at peace with my decisions, and I can't sleep at night without it nagging me because I actually have a conscience. That I've done something wrong to somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like peace is so loaded. Like, it's so many variables to peace. Like, not just for yourself, but just like mentally. Like I just said, because I have a conscience, my intentions are mostly pure. I'm not saying like, because no one's perfect, but for me, like for the most part, I am not ever intentionally malicious or, just ill. You know what I mean? Like I'm not seeking out to hurt anybody ever, even if I'm hurt or someone hurts me. Like I'll probably cry it out before I,
which is rare.
It's not rare.
What? For
me to not seek revenge or
cry it out. You don't even get to the point where you gotta cry it out. You like, okay.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like I've come to a place in my life where I'm not crying it out. But sometimes, when you really love someone, like my family or whatever, and my closest friends that I consider my family, if they do something to hurt me, I may shed a tear. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but shedding a tear and crying it out.
Yeah, I haven't had to cry out
different.
anything in a long time.
Right. So I'm like, wait, she's talking about
but what I'm saying for people so they can identify with what I'm saying, like even if they did it to me, I am now at a place where I automatically think about my consequences to God.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I don't, and let me just say this, the previous saved me. Okay. Now she didn't even have to go through all that. Okay. Like, but seriously, the pre-saved Melissa, I still would not have sought revenge because it's just not in me. But my attitude, my mouth still is slick. What am I trying to say? Oh Oh my gosh. What I'm trying to say is, okay, thank you, Lord. What I'm trying to say is prior to me being saved and caring and have the heart of Christ, because now the difference in me is not my own selfish intentions or agendas or anything hidden, honestly, in my heart to, pursue. It's literally, let me stop and think about what it looked like to him first. Literally, like before I react. And this is what I try to train and mentor my girls, my young ladies that I coach and train and mentor. Like I try to get them to understand that that's more important. It's not about what they do to you. It's literally how you react, why you're reacting. Because at the end of the day, and I keep coming back to this, I don't know why y'all always bring me back to my whole point ever, is that you are accountable for yourself. And I've taken over this conversation, so I'm gonna give it back to Kristy. But I just want you to understand what I mean by peace. So my peace don't come from a man, a woman, a child, a thing. It literally comes with my relationship and my own, like, I want to say the word ownership, but my submission to the Lord. And that's not trying to be spooky, strange, holier than thou. It's just that I submit myself to a higher authority beyond, I submit myself to a higher authority for my own self. It's nothing to do with anybody else that I'm accountable to or accountable for, or who's accountable to me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm my own individual submission to the Lord, myself. This is my decision. So with that being said, then I don't care. And my sister's completely right. That's why I may shed a tear or not. Okay, because I don't care how you feel, what you think about, how you feel about what you got to say about what I have already decided to do. And I've already decided to have love for you. And I've already decided that I'm not going to harbor or allow the hatred and maliciousness of others infiltrate into my heart. That's my decision. You know what I mean? So I refuse. And at the end of the day, for me to speak back, react, or how I even think, is all because I don't want to have to answer for it later. So, and I do believe in reaping what you sow. So I actually think about that as well. So yeah, my peace definitely comes from me just having a love of Christ, or at least as much as I know how to do. And when I don't know how, I do go to him about it. I no longer put my heart in the hands of human beings. That's just bottom line. Anyway, go ahead, sister.
All right. So as you grow and add years to your life, or months, days to your life, you get to a point where peace is more important than anything else for you personally.
Amen.
Right? So
I'm the amen corner.
So if you're at a job, basically you're evaluating at a particular point in your life. You're evaluating what causes you stress and what's bringing you stress, what's bringing in toxicity and unhappiness and pain. And when you find those things in your life, there is a clear lack of peace in those areas. So then you get to a point where you're like, okay, then I need to seek peace. So in order for me to seek peace, that may look like you ending relationships, whether that be best friends, you've been best friends for 25 years, 15 years, 7 years, whatever. But then that person right now, where you are in your life, you've grown and they just don't fit your life anymore. Right? And it's okay to grow out of relationships. It's okay to grow out of jobs, right? it's okay to grow out of a particular church.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's okay to grow out of a home, whether you have a gigantic house with a whole bunch of family in it, or you have a gigantic house by yourself. It's okay to grow into smaller.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
If that's going to cause you peace. If, you know, your $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 bill is bringing you stress, then make it smaller. You know? And sometimes we don't think like that. It's like once we get ourselves into certain situations, we feel like we just got to live out these situations. We don't, you know, to the extent that it is not displeasing to God.
Mm-hmm.
If it is not displeasing to God, right, and it's only going to upset people that has no say in whether you go to heaven or
paying
hell,
your bills,
right? They don't have no say on your soul, spirit, right? And they don't have any say on your bills, right? Then they don't have an opinion, right? You get to a point in life where you make that decision. And that's what we're talking about. Peace, right? It's multifaceted. It's lots of pieces, and we're not even going to cover all the pieces, but we're just chatting right now, right?
Yeah, PEACE, peace.
Yes. So I ask you, ladies and gentlemen, to evaluate your life, and you know, do not misunderstand me. I'm not trying to break up marriages here. I ain't trying to kick children out of homes. You know those things, those peoples, those situations that are bringing you literally a lack of peace. And if you was to free yourself from certain situations, and certain people, then you could find that peace, right? You would be less stressed. You would be more decisive in your decisions in life because you don't have all of this just clutter and junk. And really more like mental clutter, spiritual clutter, emotional clutter.
What?
Right? Once you set yourself down somewhere. Sit down somewhere. And evaluate those particular things, and only you know that. Then what needs to be trimmed off of your life? Or what needs to be upgraded? Maybe you cramped in the studio.
What?
You've been cramped in the studio or a 1-bedroom apartment or whatever. And peace would be to get a bigger place. Peace would be to relocate. Well, if you wanted to always live by the beach, then why can't you live by the beach? I'm asking myself that question, okay? Because that's what I want. I want to live by the beach. You know. So.
She just got to that place.
I did. I'm going to do something about it too. So. If you have certain desires, why not now?
Why not now?
Right? Is it stressing you out?
If not now, why?
If it's stressing you out year after year to not pursue your dreams, and we're not being, it don't have to be super big or what the world says is super big. Like I said, if you want to live closer to the beach, that's not an enormous, gigantic. It's not like I'm saying, oh, you want to be a trillionaire. You just want to live by the beach. Or you want to live in a high rise in the city. Okay, but you in an area that don't even know what a high rise is. You live in an area got one stoplight. Been there, done that.
Oh, whoa.
Not by choice. But hey, right? So why can't you make those things happen for yourself? Why?
Why not?
Now, we're not saying be selfish. We're not saying, leave your whole entire family and you got a 7-year-old and a 13-year-old. No, but then make it a family goal, right? And you are the parent. So, you make decisions. It's okay to make decisions. And your family will come aboard on it as long as you're not harming them. They have a stable school environment. But, everybody's learning from home now. So.
Right. What's the excuse?
But, yeah, so I just want you to ask yourself, do you have peace?
Ask yourself, do you have peace?
And if you don't have peace, and I want you to break it down into different areas. Do I have peace in my health? Do I have peace with my relationship with God? Do I have peace with my family? Do I have peace with my husband, my wife, my children? Do I have peace with my employment situation? Do I have peace with where I live? Do I have peace with what I drive? Do I have peace with what I eat? Do I have peace with what I'm watching on TV?
What you're listening to?
What I'm listening to,
What you're saying? Who's saying it to you?
Right? Do you have a friend that's constantly calling you and all they want to do is talk about their troubles, and by the time you get off the telephone, you sad?
What?
You don't even got nothing, like, you like, what?
Oh my God.
You might need to trim the amount of time that person has access to you.
Trim your access. All right now.
Those are just my initial thoughts.
Good thoughts.
Melissa?
Oh, I'm done. I don't got nothing to add to it.
Okay. Yeah, so seek peace, right? But let me, I would be, it wouldn't be right if I mentioned who your true source of peace is, which is God, right? The creator of heaven and earth, who sent his son Jesus Christ to die for us so that we can have that peace. That surpasses all understanding.
It is free.
Right? Jesus said that I have come to give you, that Satan comes to steal, kill, and destroy. But I have come so that you may have life and have it more abundantly. And that more abundantly don't have to be riches. That more abundantly could just be peace. That is wealth.
It sure is.
Now you need money too. Now we ain't trying to say. But seriously, like, peace is worth. It's priceless. It's not even. Right. You can't even put a numerical value to it. You can't put a number to it. And did I make up a word?
Numerical.
Okay. That doesn't sound right at all.
Well, I'm gonna let it go. I'll come back and correct it later.
And so clearly, Melissa and I was about to call Alyssa. Lord have mercy. Melissa and I clearly have a piece about we don't take each other so seriously, right? So I can jack up a word, she can jack up a word. Y'all know what we mean, right? So we got a piece of not taking ourselves too seriously. That's important.
Yep.
That was a lesson learned. Like, we're there now. We weren't always there.
Right.
Yep. We talked about in the previous episode about people pleasing and the pressure or fear of not being accepted. Yeah. This is part of that journey too. When you get to a place where peace is important to you, that automatically is going to cut off that need to people please. And it's going to cut off that fear of not being accepted. Because at this point, when you get to the point where you just want peace, right? That means you don't care what people say. Nah. You don't care what they do. You don't care if they angry at you because you don't want to sit on the phone with them all day.
Talk about nothing.
Or you don't want to watch what they want to watch, like you have grown.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There's certain things you just don't do no more. And it doesn't bring you pleasure. And that's okay. You don't have to apologize for it.
Or explain.
But I would encourage you to know if you don't know, that you have a right to peace.
Amen.
You have a right to peace. If it means picking up and moving locations, countries, districts, counties,
countries,
states. All right. Do that. Find out what you need to do so that you can be smart about it, successful, plan it and do it.
Do it. Just do it.
So yeah, guys, we love you. We want the best for you. We're rooting for you.
Peace.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Two Sisters Podcast, where we hope to encourage you on your journey of transformation and healing while having fun along the way. Follow us on IG and Twitter. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends and family. It's available on all major podcast providers. Just search for Two Sisters Podcast. Till next time.